I want to thank you, all of you who are here tonight. You took your time to come, and it is truly appreciated. The men and women of the New Orleans Police Department are indeed committed to building and maintaining a positive relationship with our community and with every member, whether you are a resident or you're a visitor to this fabulous city. A key issue is that we are transparent with you, and that means talking with you, sharing information, getting your feedback. And the department does recognize a need to use and embrace smart technologies and to upgrade existing equipment and measures to increase our efficiency, as well as to aid in our mission truly to protect and serve you. As a part of that endeavor, we are proud to announce our plan to implement an innovative, small, unmanned aircraft program that you call and we call drones. They are designed to bolster public safety in our community. This initiative will employ state-of-the-art drone technology to assist officers in their duties, while at the same time honoring privacy rights of our citizens. This technology will serve indeed as a force multiplier and a tool that NOPD can deploy in very limited and select circumstances to help those who live, work, and visit here in New Orleans, to keep you safe, to also enhance our own officer safety, as well as our efficiencies. The program includes a fleet of 4 advanced drones, which you're going to have an opportunity to see demonstrated here in a minute. They are operated by a team of 10 trained NOPD officers who have been certified by the Federal Aviation Administration. Last week, being true to the issue and the principle of transparency, we made public our draft policy online so that the public could not only see the draft, but to comment on it. I believe in privacy rights, and so does your NOPD officers and staff. Privacy is to be taken very seriously. It is constitutionally protected. And I am going to be steadfast in making sure that our policies provide those safeguards to protect your privacy as well as mine, as well as every member of this police department. And because of that, this policy that is not finalized yet, because we wanted to give the public an opportunity to weigh in, but up to this point, we have been constructing it with input from the Department of Justice and the Federal Consent Decree monitors. So as we continue to prepare to implement this new initiative, it is important that we hear from you, and we continue to hear from you through Friday of this week.
Just going to go over a brief overview of the drone program the NOPD is proposing to put forth. And to open up, we're just going to start with talking a little bit about technology. We know that NOPD continues to use technology in our daily crime fighting. You know, everyone is very familiar with our body-worn cameras, in-car cameras that we have in our police vehicles, our continued use of analytics so that we're precise in where we are putting our resources, where we are utilizing the resources that we do have. Tasers, automated license plate readers, the real-time crime center, right? The cameras that we see across the city. And we know that all of these tools have enhanced public safety. They have enhanced the safety of our officers and the community members as well. And as we move towards implementing a drone program, I want to be clear that, like I said, this is a drone program. So it's not just about putting drones in the air. It's about making an all-inclusive, comprehensive look at how the department will do this. That will include training. It will include regular training for our NOPD pilots. It will include a policy, that is encompassing of everything that we wanted to reflect, as well as the community feedback that we receive. Putting in place standard operating procedures, checks and balances to make sure that the technology is used properly and that it's used efficiently. We know that drone technology is a cutting-edge technology. We know that it's more efficient, it's cost-effective, and it's a safer alternative when we're documenting our scenes. Simultaneously, we're capturing multiple images and aerial documentation that will present a true and accurate representation of a particular scene, and we know that's critical for our investigators. It's going to help us gather crucial information as scenes unfold without putting our officers at risk, and it's also lessening the harm and danger to the community and those in the public. And it's going to be a tool, as the superintendent said, that is deployed only in select circumstances. You can look at it as a body-worn camera in the sky. That's in essence what a drone is. It's going to give real-time visuals of scenes so that officers know at that very moment what is going on at that particular scene. It's going to lend to de-escalation because it's going to allow police to make more informed decisions as situations arise. It's going to enhance our situational awareness as well. And most importantly, it's going to free up officers because we'll be able to clear scenes quicker. We'll be able to have those officers that are on particular scenes be able to be freed up sooner so they can handle other emergency response calls. So as the superintendent said, we have a draft policy on drones that is available online for everyone to review. And it's very important to mention that this is a draft, so it's ever evolving. And it's based on your input, as well as we have the input, as the superintendent said, of the Office of the Consent Decree Monitor and the Department of Justice. This policy states that these drones will be deployed in specific public safety missions only, in compliance with all applicable laws, and only by authorized personnel. We believe in checks and balances. That's why there is an auditing component and a reporting component to make sure that when a drone is deployed, that we're keeping an accurate accounting of each deployment, what happened, and able to track that and audit it. As I mentioned before, standard operating procedures. And of course, any unauthorized or inappropriate use of drones will be documented and investigated by a Public Integrity Bureau. We take that very seriously. All flights will be conducted in accordance with the Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA regulations, as well as our NOPD policies and procedures. Drones will only be used by NOPD officers who have received certification. We have all our drone pilots here with us today, and they have received their Part 107 pilot operator license with the Federal Aviation Administration. They're continuing to do training on a regular basis because we want them to be familiar with the equipment and the proper use of the equipment. Other things that we have in place to be able to track how we're using these drones, we're going to make sure that we have things such as pre-flight checklists, right? We're going to have things like flight logs, all of these things to be able to track and show what missions have occurred, what were the outcomes, and things of that nature. So how NOPD can use these drones? We know agencies across the country are using drones as a force multiplier. Once again, like I said, allowing officers to clear scenes quicker to be able to handle other emergency calls. Drones will, be used in places where NOPD is legally allowed to be. As the superintendent said, we take everyone's privacy. We take that very seriously, and that is a part of the process. Just like with any other tool that NOPD uses or has, when we have mechanisms in place, those questions have to be answered as far as, is this an authorized use of the drone? So it's not just because we have a drone, that means a drone is going up in the air for any and everything whenever we want it to go up. No, we have to have the proper reasoning and be able to justify why we're putting that drone up in the air. Some examples of that: accident reconstruction, being able to give our officers and investigators another tool to use to have a better representation of accident scenes when they're doing their investigations. Hazardous material incidents, disaster response, rescue operations, weather-related events, and damage assessments. So we wouldn't have to send someone out for that. We would be able to get that information via the drone. Pre-tactical deployment reconnaissance, making sure, like I said, that when we don't have to put officers in harm's way, we can use the drone for that. SWAT operations, hostage situations, forensic investigations. These drones will make our investigations better because it will give us a more enhanced, in-depth look at the actual scene, what occurred, and like I said, make our investigations better.